Welcome to the Greatness Engineering Show. It is always a pleasure to have you with us. We are going to South Africa today, to Johannesburg, and we're going to talk about how sport can empower youth. And my guest today is a sister, a great leader. So you will get the opportunity to know her, to know about, get a glimpse of the important work that she's doing, and also have the opportunity to talk to her if you're watching live, or to ask any question if you intend to watch the show later. So let us know where you're watching from. Let us know if you have any question, don't hesitate. This show is for you. I bring you the people that I call the greatness engineers to share their stories, share their tools, share their philosophy, so that they can help you, they can inspire you to go to the next level of your greatness. So just a little bit about my guest today. So my guest is Precious Nyarambi. She's a globally recognized gender equality advocate. She's a social entrepreneur, and she's a speaker, an author, and a philanthropist. So she does a lot. And she's also the founder of Vessel of Virtue, which is a South African-based nonprofit organization and social enterprise. And today we're going to talk about particularly about a latest venture, and how through this venture she's empowering the youth. So don't go anywhere. I will bring her now, and make sure you have your pen and paper, because a lot will be shared today. Welcome to another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show, the show that is brought to you by the Tilikima Global Leadership Organization.
Feel is important is, if you just look at the word compassion, when it's behavior, it's something that can be learned. And it is something that we can embody through habits and through our daily action.
To get this idea that if we interject this wisdom intentionally, I call them needle movers. It's the needle mover that's missing.
Don't deprive the world of your greatness. Don't do that anymore. Dare to excel, dare to be sexy, dare to be you, dare to be the best version of yourself. Impact yourself positively, and from there impact others, and you are not alone.
So welcome to the Greatness Engineering Show, Precious Sisters Precious. Welcome. It is a pleasure to have you with us today, and it's a pleasure to talk about your latest venture and how you empower the youth through this new venture. But before we get into it, just wanted you to introduce yourself, add to whatever I've shared today. And we really want to know who is Precious.
Thank you so much. It is really an honor to be on this platform today. I feel so humbled by your support always. You are you walk the talk of being an empowerer to other women. So I'm very grateful. You continuously open doors for others. Thank you so much. I am a social entrepreneur at heart. I love to empower communities. I love to bring about change. And I do that through a number of initiatives that I run through my organization called Vessels of Virtue Global. And we service about 5 pillars to date. That includes, but not limited to, the educational and economic empowerment programs for women and youth. That's number 1. Number 2, the technological and innovation advancement. That's number 2. 3 is the humanitarian work that we do. 4th is the healthcare space that we are navigating to bring about equality and affordable healthcare solutions to our communities in Africa. And the 5th one is the farming bit. We're still navigating that one to try and enter into the space of ESG. So in the part of empowering the communities and educational programs, that's where we have also added in the part of soccer, which we believe is going to bring about a big change in the narrative to a lot of the youngsters that we have as beneficiaries in the work that we do. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So thank you. Like I mentioned to you, she does a lot with her team. They're doing an amazing work, not only in Southern Africa, but also globally. So it is important to highlight that. And so I just wanted to ask you, because until now, you were really focusing, like you said, on a certain number of things. So what led you to add the youth empowerment as well into your portfolio, and how do you do it right now?
So I think on one of my travels, when we were going about to look for opportunities, I stumbled upon AC Milan team, and I've always wanted to see sport growing beyond what we ordinarily know, it being done better at a different scale, different quality, different skill set being applied. And so I approached them and I told them that what would it take for you to come to Africa and upskill the talent that we have and bring about the exposure that the youth have. And they walked the journey of this part with us. That's what led us to then getting into the space of soccer and the youth development to date. Yeah.
And how do you see it becoming really, a key vehicle for, especially for leadership and discipline? We know sometimes it's difficult, especially for youth, to get the right, the right role models, the right, tools for them to be able to develop their leadership. So how do you see that as a tool for them to empower themselves, but also become better leaders?
I think mostly because sport can be used as a part of youth development ecosystem, and then it enhances leadership. It enhances discipline, it enhances education and the social transformation part of it. So in some of the programs that we are running, like today, it was our inaugural event to execute the academy part. And it was amazing to mingle with the kids that we met with, how respectful they are. And then, subconsciously, then you become aware that there are a lot of things that you can do into the kids as they participate So we believe that with the combination of the education part that they get from their different schools and the sport discipline, it can be able to help us mold a character that we are looking for amongst the youths. Because again, in our scenarios, in our communities, we are also dealing with the youths that idle, that have then also turned into drugs if they are young men, or into prostitution, because sometimes the poverty, it's affecting them and the narrative changes. So those opportunities, we believe that they can be able to steer up the younger people into a space where they are more productive, where they can enhance their skills, and again, where leadership traits can be taught, passively or objectively, for that matter. Yeah.
And like the question that I had, because obviously, when you bring programs like that, you contact everyone. So I just want to know, how do you make the selection, especially for this particular AC Milan junior camp? How did what was the selection process, and what is key for you to, for any new youth who want to actually be part of this program? What do they need to do?
What I saw is that if you do it in isolation, you are going to bend out. If you then combine different stakeholders to come on board and participate in this initiative, it makes it a little less burdensome. By this, I mean that there is talent out there that can't ordinarily afford some of the street structures that we have set, or that are being outlined by AC Milan, for instance, or any other club for that matter. So if we then engage different stakeholders that are interested in the soccer development, soccer advancement, and the youth, then they are able to support us, so that in that way we are also being inclusive. We kind of like then don't leave children behind, regardless of their maybe sex or class or things like that. So in this initiative, we are trying as much as we can to make sure that we are inclusive in the execution of it. Yeah.
And how is it working? How long is the program? What type of sponsors are you looking for? If you're looking for more, more capacity and not more capability to bring in. So what are the requirements on that particular aspect?
Number one, on the aspect of the kids themselves, if the child has got interest, I think that's one thing that we want. And number two, on the aspect of some of the sessions that we then do, and based on the feedback that we had from the coaches that we brought in last year, they want a child to have the aptitude. They want the child to have, in as much as they have the physical strength, they are fast, they also want the child to be mentally sharp, to be able to run on the field. So bringing the coaches into the country is money. Running the camp is money. The coaches themselves, they need to be paid. So support comes in different forms, in the form of identifying even the kids that we wouldn't ordinarily reach. That's number one. Number two, it's sponsoring a child to participate in our academy. So like what we were doing today, we were launching an academy that's going to run every week when kids are done with school. So it runs from 2 to 5. So a child can be sponsored either with the regalia that they need. We would also want to compete in the National League platforms. So a child can also be sponsored. We have the privilege of taking our kids to Europe on national tours. So a child can also be sponsored, especially if they are good. A person can partner us through that. So we are not limiting our support to the community of people that we have and know. No, we are opening it up to the wider community. The corporates can come on board. And we can open the doors for the kids to get the right support that they need in the soccer space. And even individuals can also take up a kid on the soccer journey and sponsor a child, even in the form of coaches themselves, we are still looking for coaches. If things go according to plan, would want to roll this across, like we want to do maybe at least different venues to train in Joburg, Johannesburg, that is. And then we also run another pilot one in Cape Town in the first quarter. So we still need grounds, we need funding. The kids themselves, you might know a child who is exceptionally good and gifted, but doesn't have the right exposure. We are saying we are trying to create the exposure for that child to get the right support that they need.
Fantastic. And is there a age limit? Do you have, for this program, an age limit, so that anybody who's listening and have a child that is interested can reach out for the child itself?
We are opening it up to children from as early as 5 years of age. So that we kind of like drill in the qualities that we are looking for in terms of soccer. So we are open. We take kids as early as 5, boys and girls. And then, of course, our cutoff age would be, the maximum should be 19. But let them come. Let them come.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So really, a very good program and very good way to empower, the youth. So if you are really keen, as a sponsor, as, whatever skill you have that can support this initiative is welcome. And just reach out to Precious, and she will give us the detail later on as we progress through this conversation. But we gotta have a break first, and we will be back to continue to get more info about the program, and especially the empowerment work that that is being done through that program. So don't go anywhere. We will be back in a few minutes.
Finally, I think I want this world to be a more enlightened, a more just and more equal, and equal opportunity and equal prosperity for everyone in this world, not just men and women, but for everyone.
Shared core values, shared activities, shared goals, it would actually help to solidify the relationship. And you can also use that as a kind of test for you when you want to get into the relationship. If the person doesn't have shared goals with you, chances are that the relationship is not going to last. If the person doesn't have shared activities, that means you won't enjoy each other's company. You won't want to be with them because you don't want to do the same activity with them. And then if you don't have shared core values, then again, if you have differing core values, that also might just be the beginning of the end.
Every one of us is connected to what is happening in human trafficking. If it's not your immediate daughter, niece, granddaughter, you know somebody that is. One child that is trafficking impacts us globally. So let's stop it and let's all get connected. Your voice matters. You just sharing the message matters. So let's all say that we have a personal mission to stop human trafficking and to make sure that humanity is equal and treated fairly across the world.
Sometimes you're going to be scared and you just got to keep going, even if you're scared, because on the other side of being scared is your goal, is the success. So anytime I'm doing anything, don't think because I have on my red lipstick from the Lip Bar and my hair is perfectly curled that I have it all together. Inside, I'm going, oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm scared the whole time. But like I said, I don't give up. So to everyone out there who's listening, this is an amazing platform, because I'm sure everyone who has come on your show has the same type of strength I have, which is not giving up when it's hard and not giving up when they're strong, and just to keep going. And that is what is so important. As my grandmother said, keep on keeping on. And that is something we can all live by.
So we are back. We are back with Precious. And for those just joining us, we are in Johannesburg today, and we are talking about the latest, venture of Precious organization as she empower the youth. And one of the question, because when we talk about soccer, it's a male-dominated, sport. So what about the woman? Because you are a strong advocate for, gender equality. So I can, through this program, you can, we empower as well the woman, the girls, and the young women, especially, in this traditionally male-dominated space.
You won't believe it. The training session that we had today was actually girls. We had about 24 girls that signed up, that participated in the session. So it was like, wow, it's a breath of fresh air that you see girls stepping up and wanting to participate in those spaces. For us, we are trying as much as we can to make sure that the development is across. We are not limited to gender. We are trying to, if a girl feels like they want to participate in soccer, let them come, let them participate. And then also, because we are offering a varied different kind of things that we are putting in together, the mentorship and the life skills part of it. It doesn't have to be limited. It doesn't have to be gender sensitive. We're trying to make it as holistic as we can. So that part of the youth empowerment initiative is to try and enhance holistic empowerment for everyone, boy or girl. And then the leadership part, we believe that every one of us, we are all born leaders, and it can be harnessed, it can be fine-tuned so that we can lead ourselves. We can then lead the communities where we come from, and of course the continuous community engagement. So we are not exclusive, we are inclusive in this approach, that let the girls come in, let the boys come in. And I think we're going to partner another organization that's also working with the kind of disabled players, so that they can also participate in their own regard. But I think those are things that we are going to unpack as the year progresses, and as we see what's working, what's not working. But again, at the core of it is the inclusivity part. Yeah.
Fantastic. And girls are not forgotten. So that was my main, as a strong advocate for women. I just wanted to make sure, girls also make the most of this program as well. And the thing that I've always see is that we see sport as just recreation sometimes, and people sometimes don't really take it seriously, especially when it comes down to youth. So from your experience, so what is the mindset shift that need to happen for policymakers, leaders, and to recognize sport as as what you do right now, as a serious tool for social and economic development?
I think that it has to be taken as a career, and that being said, it then means that the efforts must be harnessed towards enabling that child to be a professional soccer player. And also, what then we learned from the feedback that we got from the camp was that when they are looking at a professional player, they are not looking at one thing. I think I alluded to that earlier. They are looking for a player who is holistic, who is smart in the way they carry themselves, and then who are also quick in the terms of how they handle the ball. So for us, it's saying, when these opportunities are coming, we want to encourage the children or the players to participate actively in their academics, because then it helps them with their development in terms of how they make decisions, how they play in a smart way. But again, it's also the physical part. After your IQ is all right, you must also then be fit enough to play and play better. That being said, again, there is a gap that we also saw last year when we did this, because we had a reception dinner for some of the legends. And I remember one thing that stood out for most of us was that is that the player is as good as they can play, you know. Beyond that, then the player is not relevant to the clubs. So we felt that then these skills, the players we must make sure that when we are taking the players in, we are drilling in these life skills, not just life skills, but skills that they can also use even at a later stage when the season that is productive of their soccer career or sport career is over, then they can also be able to sustain themselves, because there was that gap that really came out very strong. So for us, it will still be that emphasis of holistic empowerment that changes a person's perspective, that empowers a person's perspective, that also enhances them to play and also be relevant even after their career is over. So it's looking at the child from when they are entering into the space of sport, enhancing good leadership skills, good life skills, mentorship, any other skill that the child can have, so that even when the fitness is gone, the limelight is gone, a person can still be able to survive on their own. So yeah, that's where we are with that.
Yeah, and that's the thing, to survive on their own, because what we see is, we lose a lot of talent to, Europe, to America, where, the players actually make a career of, of being, soccer players, which is not the case, in most countries in Africa. I mean, we used to have championship, but they don't exist anymore because, the players actually are not, able to sustain themselves. So how are you going to make sure through the program like that we keep, those talents on the continent, and particularly in South Africa? Because yes, you brought all the resources, the through the AC Milan to get them trained, but how do we make sure they are retained, and what kind of support do you need to make sure those talent actually develop in-house, in country, and there are more, resources to be built for them to make money, or, to survive, through that particular sport?
I think that in my own opinion, it's a very interesting space, but it's also a space that we cannot operate on our own. So what we have seen is, from the time we brought in the AC Milan coaches, the landscape shifted, the command shifted, the engagements, the conversations, they shifted, and everyone wanted to hear also what they would have to say in terms of our own soccer space. So we are not limiting ourselves to having those conversations with different stakeholders that play a role, whether it's policy, it's advocacy, it's enhancement, it's different things that that come to play. But holistically, what we're trying to then achieve is making sure that if the talent is retained, then it's worthwhile. If the exposure is necessary, then it brings the necessary attributes of having good soccer. Because I think even when we count in our African Cup of Nations, they are certain countries that that if Cameroon is not winning, Ivory Coast, there are certain countries that would then proceed to maybe even the World Cup. But then again, we are saying that, can we then take it to the grassroots level and ensure that the talent that is even in the bundles is captured. And when it's captured, it's not something that we do on our own. When we are saying even to the coaches or to the players that used to play, that did well, that are on retirement, how can they be a part of this thing and help us build a better ecosystem of soccer? Identifying the talent, grooming the talent, coaching the talent, making sure that the talent is world star, so that even locally we can enjoy good soccer, continuously. So we are fitting into that system from a tender age all the way to even the people that no longer play soccer. But everyone has got their own part to play. Like I said, it could be policy, it could be training, it could be just the corporates coming on board to sponsor and advocate. It could be that part of inclusivity. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, which mean, I mean, there's a lot, and you mentioned it. There's a lot to be done, to integrate, a few things. So, and the sponsorship can come in, in different form, and that's basically the message here is to be able to create something that's gonna last, because that's the key thing, and something that will actually have an impact on the ground, and be retained, actually create a sustainable value for the country. So we're going to have another break, and we will be back just for the last part of the show, and really understand what's the way forward, and also your bigger vision so far. So don't go anywhere. We will be back with Precious in few minutes. Hello, everyone. This is Mirai, the Greatness Engineer, with you today. Welcome to the Greatness Minute. Today, I want to introduce to you the DARE method, which is the method that the Greatness Engineering is based on. First, decide that you want to be great. So that's the D in the DARE method. Then you have to put in place, obviously, a plan and act on this plan. That's the A in the DARE method. After you've acted, there is a result. It can be a good result or a bad result. If it's a bad result, you need to identify what went wrong, identify the gap, bring the right resources to rectify everything that went wrong, and then expand. When you've actually review everything, you have to expand and get to the next level. Don't stop at the first success. Greatness is a succession of success, and it never stops, because you're learning, and the greatness engineering process, it's an unlimited process. So make sure you understand that you have to decide to be great. You have to put a plan in place and act on this plan. You have to review this plan, and when you are okay and where you are, you have to expand, because the expansion, it's what brings you to the next level of your greatness. Thank you very much for being with us today. I see you next week. So welcome back. We are with Precious today, and we've been talking about youth empowerment through soccer and through sport in general. So one thing that I wanted to know, Precious, what's the way forward? Because you obviously started this program, and there, obviously it's a big thing because I know that there's still a lot to be done. So how do you envision the future? Especially within this sort of virtue not only across South Africa, I know you've mentioned it, but also do you see any future across Africa or globally?
Absolutely. I think it's a new terrain for me. It's exciting. And as you said earlier, the majority of the people that I meet in that space are men. You realize that I guess we still have a long way to go in terms of maybe making sure that women are participating even just across the whole spectrum. So for me, number one, the way forward we would desire to strengthen the academy structure with clear age groups, curriculum, and qualified coaching that will help us to get the talent pool that we want. Number two, it also will be like expand grassroots programs in schools and underserved communities. That way we are making sure that we are inclusive. Number three, it's also continue to offer accessible development-focused training sessions. Like the one we did today was more of an introductory, but it was also focused around goal alignment and things like that. So we went there with coaches to make sure that we achieve what we wanted to achieve. Again, it's building strategic partnerships with academics or academies, other academies in the space, schools, sponsors, and sports bodies, because you can't operate in an island. The other thing would be to integrate leadership, mentorship, and life skills into football training so that we are raising a player that is holistic. The other component would be to create talent pathways through camps, tournaments, and exposure opportunities, and that then this gives us a space in the space of AC Milan tours or Chelsea. We recently signed another engagement with another club as well, two of them to be precise. And then again, I think we are trying to secure land, about 50 hectares of land that's going to need development, because then that becomes more of our hub in terms of being a place where kids can be trained, where coaches can also be trained, where we can also have our own grounds and things like that. Then that spills over even to the region, to the other countries across Africa. Again, it's investing in infrastructure, like I said, equipment, digital platform for registrations and development tracking. Our website should actually be up sometime next week. We have been working on this soccer one in particular so that it's easier for parents to sign up their kids or to track the work that we are doing. And then again is to promote girls' participation and inclusive youth development through sport. It's important that girls also participate if they choose to. Then scale VOVFC across South Africa and the SADC region for now. We have had requests, I think, from other neighboring countries, not just in the SADC. I think Ghana reached out the other day where they are saying we would want to also have a camp like this. Can you facilitate that for us? So for us, we also look at that and think it's a way of growing the work that we've just started, and work towards establishing a VOV Center of Excellence for Youth Sports and Development. Hopefully that becomes part of what we are vying for the land here in South Africa. We are hoping to get about 50 hectares of land, and that's going to need us to really work with different stakeholders to bring that to life. And again, is to position VOV. We formally registered it as VOV FC as a separate entity that functions on its own with different board members and things like that. And it's amazing that I'm seeing a different set of pool that comes in. Doctors are coming in, they want to partner us as physiotherapists. I'm seeing lawyers that are coming on board. I'm seeing accountants that would want to help us do this. I'm seeing coaches on a day-to-day basis. They reach out and they say, how can we be a part of this? So it's positioning VOVFC as a sport for development model that empowers youth and transforms communities. As we speak, we see that a lot is happening around our communities. The youth, our communities are infiltrated with drugs. I alluded to that earlier. And young girls are getting into these spaces where they end up doing things that they wouldn't do at their age, or they are not supposed to do at their age. So we believe that this activity or these activities can help keep them busy, keep them out of trouble in a way that's productive, that's not discriminatory, that empowers them, that encourages them to do good for their community. And we are not saying we've got everything figured out. We are trying to figure it out one step at a time, one partner at a time, one player at a time. And we are doing this as inclusive as we can be. Yeah.
Fantastic. That is so powerful. And I told you, she's doing, creating so much value on the ground. And please, reach out if you want to participate, if you want to be part of, empowering our youth, especially the youth that is, exposed to the wrong things. So just, reach out. And my question is, how do people reach out to you, Precious?
So we are very active on our social media pages. On LinkedIn, we are VOVFC or Vessels of Virtue. If you reach out to us, we can be able to respond back. On Facebook, it's the same, VOVFC or Vessels of Virtue. We'll be able to respond. LinkedIn, Instagram, Vessels of Virtue, you'll find us. Even on TikTok, you find us. On Twitter, you find us. We are trying to cater for every person's different social needs that they have. So reach out. We are flexible. I would also just share my email address or my personal number if there's anyone would want to reach out. But obviously, I'll do it through the protocol that is set before me. But thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity.
Not a problem. And as you know, so Vessel of Virtue is everywhere, so you can't miss them. And so please connect. And if you have anything to offer to support the program that we just outlined today, please do so. And I just wanted to ask a last question to you, Precious. For any young person watching this show today who may feel like unseen or limited by either their circumstances and or being limited for exposure, what will be the message that you can share with them about using their talents through sport, obviously, or beyond, to build a purpose driven life?
In my thinking, I would think that no one ignores consistency. If you continuously do something, if you hone in your skills, an opportunity will avail itself. So while you are waiting, I remember one of my mentors would say to me that, no matter where you are, help will find you. That's how faithful God is. Even in the kundus, help will find you. But when the help comes, you must make sure that you are prepared for that opportunity when it comes, because eventually it comes, and it comes after perfecting your skill, honing in on your skill, becoming the best version of you. This is so that I think God makes in such a way that when the opportunity comes, you don't miss it because you are not ready for it. So while you are working on it, while you are waiting for someone to see you, work on yourself, become the best version of yourself. someone will see you for who you are. They will see through you. They will open the door for you, and they will help you the way you need to be helped. But continuously, consistently, do you become the best version of this conviction that you have in your heart that God has set for you to run with and pursue. That will be my encouragement.
Powerful. So be consistent, work on yourself, become the best that you can be, and your talent will be highlighted. Thank you so much, Precious, for this conversation today, for your message of hope and for your message of empowerment, because you've just through this conversation made us realize that when sport is aligned with values, mentorship, and purpose, it becomes more than competition. It becomes a classroom. It becomes a healing space. It becomes, a launch pad for leadership. And it is. Those are the things that are important for us to live a purpose-driven life and really go to the next level of our greatness. So thank you for this message today. And also, I really want to thank you for investing, in youth through sport and through charity, and putting the effort and bringing people together to really work, help the youth not to drown, but to actually find a way to thrive and become the best version of themselves. So thank you so much again, and for your time. I know you are very busy, and it has been a pleasure, a real pleasure to have you. I don't know if you want to add to the conversation before we leave. Any last message or anything that you really wanted to share today? Just let me know, and then we will close out on that particular last message.
I don't have much to add, but just to say thank you so much, Miral, for the platform that you create for us to amplify our voices, to empower us, to expose us to people that can actually step in and make our visions better. So I'm just grateful. Thank you so much. I'm just grateful. I'm thankful for the opportunity, and thank you.
Thank you very much, and I encourage the listeners or everyone who's going to watch this show later to understand that greatness is there. You have the greatness, and as you can see, there's always support. There's always something that can help. Someone that can help you. Someone that can provide help, but it starts with you. So you have, like Precious was saying, you have to become the best version of yourself, and then it will be highlighted, and then you'll get the support, you'll get what you need to go to the next level. So that's all for today, and we'll be back for another episode of the Greatness Engineering Show next week, and I hope you'll be able to join us. Thank you again, and God bless you.